Good morning, SCS. I'm Jessica Olivia, the current President of Student Council.
And my name is Aileen Anya. I am the head of the multimedia department.
Today, we, along with Felix Lausche, are going to be hosting a debate activity for the future Student Council President.
Before we start, we would like to thank Felix Lausche and all the candidates for being able to participate in this debate. Without further ado, let us begin the debate with an introduction for each candidate, starting from candidate number 1. Two minutes will be given for you to introduce yourself, and a timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
We also like to prepare an organization full of students who are responsible and able to carry on challenges that will prepare them for the future prospects, as it will test their skills outside of academics.
And our mission is to allow the students to rely on the Student Council by trust and be the voice or vessel for the students to voice out their words and suggestions to the school, and also to improve the teamwork and cooperation skills among the students themselves and the student-teacher bonds too, in academics and also during our events.
We also like students to find out others who have similar passions or dreams so that they are able to discuss their ideas and help each other pursue their passions. Also provide transparency and effective communications between the student council, teachers, and the students themselves. We also want to organize enjoyable events that will make unforgettable memories for the students to look back on.
And lastly, we want every single one of the students here in SCS to feel validated and valued for their opinions, their passions, and also their skills, as everyone here is equal.
Now, let's move on to the next candidate number 2. So you may come forward. 2 minutes will be given for you to introduce yourself, and the timer will start as soon as you speak. The stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gilbert Lawrence Venas, and I'm from grade 10A. And today, me and my vice, Shane Alexander Huang, from grade 9A, will be introducing ourselves and explaining our vision and mission.
All right, firstly, here's our vision. Our vision is to create an empowering environment where students thrive, igniting their full potential and driving positive changes towards all of SCS. We also envision a school environment which values the cultivation of unique talents, skills, creativity, and character of all SCS students.
Now for our mission. So for our mission, we use the acronym SUPPORT. Each letter stands for a different sentence. So for the first letter S, it stands for Serve as a Voice for All Students. What this means is that everyone's voice from the SCS community will be heard for us so that we can gather those informations and make the student council a better environment. The next one is Unite, U. It means unite students by having school activities, thus creating opportunity for them to collaborate and work together. Not only that, by having work sessions together or playing games together, they can have fun so that they won't get stressed through the academics. And next is Promote. P, it stands for promote a positive atmosphere where all students feel supported and respected. Next is purposefully work to improve the quality of the student council and make SCS a more enjoyable place to grow, offer opportunities for leadership development, responsibly manage the students council finances, and transform SCS into a more better environment.
Your time has ended. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's move on to candidate number 3. Same as before, 2 minutes will be given for you to introduce yourself, and the timer will start as soon as you speak. You may have the stage now.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. I am here as candidate number 3, and I will be running for president. I am Calvin Michael from grade 11 Science A.
And I'm Joceline Wilaso from grade 9A, and I'm running for vice president. So first of all, our vision is to empower unity. Just like our slogan says, candidate 3, the key to unity. We want everyone to feel included. So teachers, students, and administrators to feel more included, connected, and valued in the school community.
Next, I will be talking about our mission. We have 4 missions to accomplish our vision. First of all, we want to promote teamwork. What this means is, since SCS is such a diverse school, we have people and students from all backgrounds, and we want them to, come together as one and work together as one. Next would be, we want to empower leadership. What this means would be, we want leaders in our community to lead our students to a better path, a bright path. Next would be supporting and listening. We would listen to all students, teachers, and administrators if they have any issues or problems with us, and we promise that we will hear your voices. Lastly, we will be including inclusive events. What this means would be that in all events, we will include diversity as well as teamwork. So that is what we will do as candidate 3, and hopefully we will make the school a better place for all students, teachers, and administrators. Yes. Okay, never mind. Maybe not.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to candidate number 4. 2 minutes will be given to you to introduce yourselves, and the timer will start as soon as you speak. You may come forward to the stage and start talking.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Kunbresha Rabani from grade 11 Social Science, and this is my partner.
Oh, I'm Kevin Rodrigo Panjaitan from grade 9A.
And we are here as the Student Council President and Vice President candidate number 4. So we're here today to talk about our missions and vision. So first and foremost, of course, our mission. We think that we are here. It's important to strengthen the relationship among SCS students and teachers, of course. So as we feel that here in SCS, we are one big family. And of course, first and foremost, our goal is to create a pleasant environment among students so that they feel that the student organization here doesn't reign above them, however, fight alongside with them. And next is, of course, developing a dependable student council which students could rely on. And lastly, this is the most exciting part of what students have been waiting for, is to create fun and exciting events that will cheer your boring and dull day here in SCS to a more memorable and cheerful.
With the missions mentioned by my president, we have these visions that we can achieve, which is 1, to create a well-structured and reliable student organization in which students can come to us and ask for their problems so that we can help them. Next is to create a student organization which you may take great satisfaction in representing our school, our student, and our independence. And lastly, making the voices of every student heard, valued, and empowered while driving positive change and a culture of unity, growth, and excellence.
In conclusion to all of our mission and vision, we really want SES to grow together and strive together to be a better place, and we want to help the community to strive ahead significantly. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate 4. Now we will have the last and final candidate, Candidate 5. Same as before, you guys will have 2 minutes to introduce yourself, and the timer will start as soon as you speak.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Edrick Emmanuel Kent. I'm from class G10A, and this is my partner, Nathaniel Cristalin Sasmita. So today we are going to talk about our vision and mission. So for our vision, we envision a future where every student's voices are not only just heard, but also taken into very serious and careful consideration. Why? Because we follow the motto, action speaks louder than words. Therefore, we want every student's voice to play a crucial role in every event that we are going to make.
And for our mission is to strengthen these four positive aspects that we want to sharpen in every single one of you individuals, because we want to create future successful and sure leaders. First aspect being leadership, second being teamwork, and the following personal growth and promoting a positive and inclusive environment.
Like what Crystalline said, we want to promote all those four traits in our student council. We also vision a better student council where all the departments can work together and have good teamwork with heads who also have good leadership traits. We also want to make SCS events a way lot better and not boring like most students say. We also want to change the perspectives of each and every students who only see a certain thing from one aspect or one point, but not only from one point, but also from any other points and better aspects.
For closing, in conclusion, we want to promote these four because we want to create future leaders as well. Because we want everyone to feel included in this school community that we have. Therefore, we are going to prepare ourselves ahead for the problems that we are going to encounter after.
Thank you for your statement. Thank you for your introduction. Now, we will get to the exciting part of the debate, the questions.
So we will start from Candidate 1. Each candidate will be given 1 minute to think and 1 minute to answer the questions. You may think of your answers on your seat. After 1 minute, we will call you to come forward.
Candidate 1, may you please come forward? Candidate 1, your question is, how will you address issues such as bullying, mental health, or inclusivity in our school community? I repeat, how will you address issues such as bullying, mental health, or inclusivity in our school community? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your time starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are given 1 minute to tell us your answer.
Of course, we both experience bullying in some form, so we're able to understand their experience. So first, we want them. Hello. So first, we want them to confide in us first, and we want them to know that we're here for them, as we are also students. So in case they don't want to go to the Mr. Greg, they don't want to go to the Guru Beka, the clinic, the Mr. Greg, the school counselor, they're able to come to us first because they can confide in us, as we are here to help them rely on us. We want them to explain their side and everything that's been bothering them, especially their mental health and all other issues. And maybe we can set up a meeting or with their bullies so that they're able to discuss their points of view and then why this happened, what was the point of this, what was the goal the bully was trying to achieve, and then try to help them make up for the bullying and arguments, and hope that the students are able to stop. No. See, that's so little.
Now we can have a maximum of 2 candidates to argue with the first candidate's statement. So candidate 2 and candidate 3.
So candidate 2, you are given 1 minute to state your argument against candidate number 1's statement.
So what I heard that they said that the students should approach them before Mr. Greg. But where does the professionalism occur there? Because as you know, Mr. Greg is a professional person. He studies psychology in university until a high degree, but them as the student council are just students. What shows that the students should pick them over Mr. Greg when they clearly have less professionalism and experience in the part?
And also another thing to be taken into consideration is that how you gain the trust of the students. Because, well, students obviously, they trust the teachers more as they are more professional. They study for a long time in their universities to teach the students and to understand them. And so, why you instead of them?
Thank you.
Okay, now the second argument from candidate number 3. Please come forward to state your arguments.
So, we know that you are also students. Everyone here are students. How do you make sure that instead of, them talking to you guys, they will, how sure are you that they will talk to you guys instead of the professionals? And also, how do you gain their trust? It's pretty difficult to, trust someone that you're not really close to, right?
And since we are all students and have not much experience in about mental health and stuff, since we're still in a young age, how sure are you that you can help their mental health and make them feel more included to the school environment? And how sure are you that instead of going to you, they can go to counselors instead?
Thank you. Now, all the arguments have been stated. Candidate number 1, you are given 2 minutes to state your counter argument. May you please come forward to state your counter argument.
First, yes, we know that Mr. Greg is a professional, but sometimes some students are too afraid to approach adults because they have a higher status. So students feel nervous to express their concerns to them. And then since we're around the same age range, we are able to provide them a sense of security as we are around there. We have closer similar situations as we're in the same generation, and then we have the same experiences as we experience some bullying as well.
And we're not trying to say that the students shouldn't go to professionals such as Mr. Greg or Miss Mehdi, stuff like that. We're just saying that if they're not, like what Madeline said before, they're nervous, they don't want to go to them yet, we can try to lighten the load first. And then after that, we can try to convince them to go to the professionals. But since some students, as we're around their age, we can understand their problems, and we will have a lot of diversity in the student council. So the people from there can also help them in their own respective classes.
So what she's trying to say is that we're like the stepping stones for the students in case they are nervous to approach the professionals. And then to make them more comfortable with us, to trust us, we can we can provide during those events, we can provide student councils talking to students, just normal light conversation that get to know them, and then we can add interactive things in our student council account, and then we can approach many students. We can make it during the clubs, because we will also approach the clubs to check in on them, and that's when we can start conversations and then converse with the students so that we are able to know more about them. And then for their mental health, yes, we may not know that much, but we can be able to try to comfort them a bit and then help them out, lighten the mood so that they're able to talk to a professional
Please
instead.
stop. Okay. Your time is up. You may come back to your seat now. Thank you, candidate number 1. Now we will carry on to the next candidate, candidate number 2.
Candidate number 2, may you please come forward. Your question is, how do you intend to represent the diverse needs and interests of students in your programs? I repeat, how do you intend to represent the diverse needs and interests of students in your program? You are given 1 minute to think of an answer. Your time starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are now given 1 minute to state your answer.
So, as we said before, we will collect all students' voices and try to process the information they've given and request. So, if they want they want something from an event, they want it to be applied in a specific event, we'll try to take it into consideration if it's suitable or not. Like, for example, let's take esports, since a lot of people wants it. Some wants the ML tournaments to be like different tournament styles, so we'll give them that one if possible.
And for our events, of course, well, we need the support in order to make the diversity like to be implemented into the events. And again, in our events, there will be multiple
your
programs
time has
in it.
ended. So now we can have a maximum of 2 candidates, candidate 3 and candidate 4, to argue with the second candidate's statement.
All right, so the first argument will be coming from candidate number 3. You may have your stage.
Okay. So we heard that you would include everybody's voices, and I'm sure that everybody here wants to, but you know, there are a lot of students here, and how would you make sure that everybody's voices here are heard? I'm not talking about just most of the students, I'm talking about how all of the students would be able to, you know, be heard by you guys, and how do you expect to make forms and whatnot so that you can take in information from students?
And also, since we have lots of diversity in Indonesia, how will you include all of them in your events and activities, since maybe it's too much for just 1 year?
Okay, thank you, candidate number 3. Now the second argument will come from candidate number 4. So please come forward to state your answers. You have 1 minute.
As you said before, that you will be open to all students' recommendations and events. And how do you have the ability to actually listen to all their voices? Because of course there will be a lot of different opinions from different kinds of party, for example the students and from the teachers as well, or maybe for the parents or the student itself. So how are you willing to actually give them what they want, but also give the teacher what they want?
And also, there are some people who are, having like social anxiety and all that stuff. How are you going to take the opinions from them? They aren't like, they don't have the courage to talk to you. Yeah. So how are you going to take the opinions from them too?
That's it. Thank you.
Now, all the arguments have been stated. Candidate number 2, you are given 2 minutes to state your argument. You may have your stage.
So one of the counter-arguments I've heard is that how do you make sure all voices are heard? So for this, I've planned out some ways to gather all information, such as making an online survey through the Stuco IG, or even having each class a representative to collect the information from each of their friends. So by having this, every single student can approach that one specific person to give the information and relay it to us, the heads. And not only that, the online survey will give an opportunity for those who does not feel really, those who feel like scared or not sure about their identity or yeah, something like that, so that through online they can hide their identities themselves, but then still can be able to express their opinions.
Now again, being realistic in our school, obviously there's a lot of diversity, different opinions from each students, and realistically, it will be impossible for every student to be heard, but if we somehow can take into consideration the diversity and make everything possible, it will also broke the bond between students in our school, and we cannot unite, which is one of our mission that we wanted. So our solution for this is, again, for each class, there's a representative, and take the overall what each student wants, and if it is really needed and reasonable, we will implement them to our events, activities, and other things that we will do during our time.
Okay, your time is up. So candidate number 2, you may come back to your seat. Now we'll carry on with the next candidate, candidate number 3.
Candidate number 3, may you please come forward. Your question is, how do you plan to collaborate with teachers, administrators, and parents to achieve your goals? I repeat, how do you plan to collaborate with teachers, administrators, and parents to achieve your goals? You have 1 minute to think. Your time starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are now given 1 minute to tell us your answer. Your time starts now.
So, 2 minutes. So we will start with, first of all, as our campaign, we've said that we will include everyone. And that means that we have the forms. And these forms are not only for students, right? These are also for teachers, administrators. And how to implement this in our candidate would be that we would like parents to support their children as well, right? We would also include their parents' voice as well, not only by helping their students, but also, like helping their students on the bazaars, as we said in our campaign before.
So we'll invite parents to community services like the bazaar we have and the bake sale, so they can also share support their children, and we also share Google Forms and links so they can share their opinions and feedback.
Okay, so your time has ended. So now we can have a maximum of 2 candidates, candidate number 4 and candidate number 5, to argue with the third candidate's statement.
The first argument will be coming from candidate number 4. May you please come forward to state your argument. You have 1 minute to state your argument. You may have your stage.
Okay, so you stated that you will invite parents to your events and maybe talk it out with the students' parents, of course, as you really want to include everybody, not only the students' voices, but also everyone in the community of the school, right? I do get that, but however, how if the parents are concerned with their child from your events? What if they don't agree with your events, and what if you couldn't make the parents trust you that their child it's going to be okay during your events, like your community service events or other events that you've implemented?
And also you haven't stated that how does those like forms can benefit the teachers, because you only stated like how it can benefit the parents, and also same thing goes for why. What if the teachers don't agree with the events? How will
Okay,
you?
so your time is up now. So now the second argument will come from candidate number 5. So please come forward to state your arguments. You have 1 minute.
Okay, so you said that you will invite administrations, parents, and teachers to your events. How do you guarantee that administrators, teachers, and parents will 100% agree to this? Also for parents, not every parent has enough or even give time to come to these events for their child, because we know how busy parents are with their work. So how can you explain that? Other than that, you know, parents are actually very protective of their children. So how do you gain their trust for these events for their children?
Oh, you make sure that these forms that you said that you would provide will reach the parents if they have not received any information about this. And for children that feel pressured or surrounded by their parents like myself, how will it be possible for your campaign to include the children's opinions? Because not all children view parents as support due to their personal trauma or or other family problems.
Thank you, candidate number 5. Now, all the arguments have been stated. Candidate number 3, you are given 2 minutes to state your counter argument. May you please step forward to the stage and state your counter argument. Your time starts now.
So, first of all, we would like to talk about how you said that the teachers, how do we include the teachers as well, right? As we said before, we have the recommendations, and those are not only for students, teachers, but also for students, teachers, and administrators, right? And these are also connected to this, which means that how does parents would get notice. And these recommendations would be 1 month prior to each event, so we have a lot of time to prepare and get recommendations from students, teachers, and administrators, as well as parents. And those parents, I'm pretty sure that in this 1 month, these parents have enough time to, talk to the students, and maybe if they have any issues, they can come to us. And also, I cannot be 100% guarantee, because I know some parents don't really support their child, as you said before, and the parents and the students cannot, their parents are not their first option, right?
And also, if parents actually don't agree with it and teachers, they can, at first, we can also inform them about our planned events, and they can give feedback and recommendation before the events. That's why we made forms and feedback recommendation links before any event starts. And if they actually give us feedbacks and don't agree with us and our events, they can tell us after the events, and we will provide a feedback form, right? So they can answer that, and we will try our best to hear their voices and try to improve our next event and listen to their advice.
Okay, so thank you, candidate number 3. You may come back to your seat now. Now we will carry on with the next candidate, candidate number 4.
Candidate number 4, may you please come forward. Candidate number 4, your question is, how do you plan to get the trust of the students and put the student council on the same level as them instead of being superior to them? I repeat, how do you plan to get the trust of the students and put the student council on the same level as them instead of being superior to them? You have 1 minute to think of an answer. Your 1 minute starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are now given 1 minute to tell us your answer. Your 1 minute starts now.
Of course, is first to create a healthy environment amongst the students, teachers, and just the community of SCS. If you ask how, then it's of course to include them and not exclude neither one of them for every of our events. And if they feel that they're hurt, they're hurt, then we are doing the things that they suggested. I believe that they will slowly gain our trust as the student council, that even though we do have the label as maybe the next president or the vice president, they will still look at us as students.
Yeah, And an example of one of these actions that we'll take is by creating an event that will include everyone, like the parents, teachers, and administrators. And after every event, we will take feedback from them, and we can apply those feedbacks to make our next event even better, so that we can include more people.
Okay, so your time is up. Now we can have a maximum of 2 candidates, candidate number 5 and candidate number 1, to argue with the 4th candidate's statement.
The first argument will be coming from candidate number 5. May you please come forward to state your argument. You have 1 minute to state your argument. You may have your stage.
All right. So you said that you are going to try to gain their trust, but how about if they don't want to participate in these events because they actually don't agree with your terms? And other than that, what you said for the second argument, it's basically the same like what I said before. How do the teachers, administrators, parents can even believe in you when even their child doesn't have trust in you?
Okay, slowly gain our trust, but what if they think that they're still oppressed because the title SCS or Student Council is a heavy title to bear? We all know that. And as for myself, I have experienced the fact that I've been oppressed because I think that Student Council is a very much higher title that I hold. When I was grade 7, I had this schoolmate of mine who kept on flexing his title of being Student Council even though he was just a photographer. And I think that my opinions went very low down, my self-esteem went very low. I could not say anything, I was oppressed. Then how will you make sure to include everyone because of that?
Okay, so the time is up. Now we will have the second argument from candidate number 1. Please come forward to state your argument, and you have 1 minute.
So first, you said you want students to feel equal to you, and that's a good point. But there might be some students that will think like, oh, they're just students, so they think they're entitled to do anything. Or there are also some students that will still feel like nervous to face you, because either way, when you hear the student council, there's still some superiority in there, and they'll be too nervous to approach.
And also, you said that you want them to think of the students in the student council as equal. What if they don't listen to you during events, and that causes chaos during the events? And also, adding a lot more people to the events, like the parents, administrators, stuff like that. If you invite them to the events, you'll have a lot more people to manage, right? And again, if the students don't listen to you, that's also a lot more chaos.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 1. Now, all the arguments have been stated. Candidate number 4, you are given 2 minutes to state your counter-argument. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Of course, to answer your question, our first and what's most important is to gain trust. If you may ask, how should we gain trust? I believe your motto is action speaks louder than your words, right? So therefore, we use our actions. If they saw us having a good actions, us listening to them, us creating events that will make them happy, I'm sure from that, that people will feel included, students will feel included, so they will have trust in the student council. I answered your question as well, right? And therefore, how can we make students not actually looking as the student council as a higher chart of the student? Is of course back to our vision and mission, that's creating a more healthy environment, right? So by creating a healthy environment,
we make people included. And also, you said something about the students won't listen to us. Well, if they won't listen to us, then how are we supposed to make everyone feel included if they won't listen to us? So, yeah.
yeah, like what my vice said before, if people won't listen to us, then we approach them, we talk to them as to why they won't listen to us, of course. If a person is not willing to listen to us, they sometimes feel that they're not they're not having the same objectives of the other person is. That's why we approach them, we talk to them, and we take the midpoint, the middle solution as to what should we implement for what's good for them, what's good for us, what's good for the teacher, and also what's good for the parents. I think that's it. Thank you.
So you may go back to your seat, candidate number 4. Now we will carry on to the last candidate.
The last candidate, candidate number 5. May you please come forward. Candidate number 5. Your question is, how will you get the fundings for your program and maintain a constant inflow of it? I repeat, how will you get the fundings for your programs and maintain a constant inflow of it? You have 1 minute to think. Your 1 minute starts now. Your 1 minute has ended. You are now given 1 minute to tell us your answer. Your time starts now.
Okay, so we all know that OSIS has different departments, right? And we have different upcoming events. Now, those events, I'm planning to make some sort of money exchanging event, like for example, some sort of cafe gitu. And all of those fundings and all of those incomes, we are going to use it in our future events. Not just that, this is called, what is koperasi? But koperasi, yeah, whatever that is. So the koperasi, we're going to gather money from that. We can get receivable income also if the the monthly gathering of 5,000 is not enough.
Other than that kan juga banyak a lot of students say that they don't want to pay like the taxes like 5K because they say like it's too like it's like robbing them and expensive. But if they say it like that, we can just say like these taxes that we collect are for our events that we are going to make them
Okay,
enjoyable.
your time has ended. Now we can have a maximum of 2 candidates, candidate number 1 and candidate number 2, to argue with the last candidate's statement.
The first argument will be coming from candidate number 1. May you please come forward to state your argument. You have 1 minute to state your argument. Your time starts now.
Unfortunately, there will still be some students that don't want to pay because they also don't want to participate in the events. And the cafe thing is a bit too high of a standard, and some students kind of don't want to pay too much for food. And then that's going to help your funds, but some students don't want repetitive things. So how will you make it unique enough for the students to be interested enough to buy them?
And also there are other like stands already in the cafeteria and stuff like that that the students already trust and like rely on for their lunch, snacks, stuff like that. How will you make the students want to buy from your stand? And how are you gonna set up the cafe in the first place if you don't have the budget yet? I think that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we will have the second argument coming from candidate number 2. So please come forward and you will be given 1 minute to state your arguments.
Your time starts now.
Okay, about the funds, you said that, well, some students does not want to pay because they think it's too much. Then how do you guys make the students or make them convinced that they need to pay the funds? Like, that you guys need the funds for the events. How do you gain the trust of them?
Not only that, the funds that we've collected so far are just for events. If you were to build another cafe stall, that would automatically, you need more. So how do you ensure that that 5,000 will be enough for that extra cafe plus all the events that you've promised? And not only that, how do you ensure that the students are convinced enough that the money they spent is well done? Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 2. You may go back to your seat. Now, all the arguments have been stated. Candidate number 5, you are given 2 minutes to state your counter argument. Your time starts now.
Okay, so for what candidate one said, as we said, we will provide forms for events that they want. So they will actually pay for their money. Why? Because if we provide forms and they give us recommendations or events that they want, it means that we will make their events. And for the stand, well, like I said before, we can put in like surveys or stuff, and we can ask like the students like what they like, and we can make those things so they would want to buy from our stand.
No, sorry, itu the stand. I'm not gonna build another one. I'm just going to exclude those people that are actually like cooking there. Then I'm going to just vacant them just for like a few days, just get to the event, and I'm probably making just some kind of themed sort of apa ya? Because like last time, you remember that one science math Olympic, and there were like those SMA people ngejualan. They're not building another stand. They're just still staying there. Just we're going to offer like more apa ya? Money certain income profits karena tinggi-tinggi by making sort of themed cafes and lain-lain. I don't really know, but the thing is, yeah, I'm not gonna build another one, and I'm just going to use those funds and exclude those people because, yeah, to get those people who are in the certain OSIS departments to sort of help us with funding the OSIS department. Oh my God, why am I?
And other than that, those events are still potential, so yeah, we cannot promise anything. But like I said before, yeah, we're not going like my vice said before. We're not gonna make another stand, but we will use the already provided stands to create more funds for the OSIS events. Thank you.
Okay, so you may go back to your seat, candidate number 5.
Wow, what a debate it has been.
Yeah, everyone presented very well. Seeing their arguments and their defense is really interesting.
Yeah, but anyways, that is all for the debate activity we had today. Let us now hear closing statement from each of the candidates. The candidates, you are given 1 minute to state your closing speech. We may start with candidate number 1.
To end this debate, we would like to say that me and Karen, we want to help everyone and serve as their stepping stones for the future, or at least be their guiding light to help them guide onto the path, even if they're going to graduate or leave this school. We just want to help students achieve that goal and help them reach their dreams and passions, whether it be academics or non-academics.
And we want to make all of the events very memorable for all of them, and try our best to, as she said before, be their stepping stones and guiding light in both academics, and try to make the events really fun for them with the budget and stuff that we have.
So we'd like to thank you all for listening to us, and we want you to know that we're doing this for everyone and not for ourselves, as this school community is what we want to bring as our second home and to be our new universe.
Thank you, candidate number 1. Now, candidate number 2, let us hear your closing speech, and you'll be given 1 minute.
This is taking inspiration from someone legendary I've known. To be or not to be. As candidate number 2, we, Gilbert and Shane, will never give you up. Hearing all voices of students or even adults, we will never let them down. With the funds given and everything they expect from us, we'll do our best and never gonna run around and desert them.
And as responsible candidates, we will 100% give out our best and never gonna make you cry. Ensuring the best just for you guys. Even if you may no longer be with us, we will never gonna say goodbye. Being the best truthful leaders for all of you. Making sure we are never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We, candidate number 2.
Together towards a better SCS.
Candidate number 3, may you please come forward to tell us your closing statement.
Okay.
you have 1 minute to tell us your closing statement. Your time starts now.
Okay, to end this all, we would like to say thank you to everyone here, the cameraman Jordan and also Felix, to be here listening to us, to our, oh yeah, and Kennedy and whatnot, yes. And you guys, my friends, presidents, what's not. Yes, thank you for listening and support and listening to us. And we would like to say that we're thankful that you guys are here and helping us through this debate. And yes, we want this to be a fair competition. And everybody here is equal as one, as well as friends. Right? So
remember, candidate 3, the key to unity.
Thank you, candidate number 3. Now, let's hear the closing remarks for candidate number 4. You have 1 minute.
Okay, first and foremost, of course, I would like to thank everyone here, and of course to thank God that we're able to gather here together and have this debate happen. So, in conclusion of what from the statements we have talked, of course, we are running for Student Council's President and Vice President is to contribute to the growth of SCS, as we could grow together for a better SCS and bringing together the voices of students and teachers, as that they know that they played an important role here in SCS. So, in conclusion to what I've said before,
Vote for 4.
for a better SCS. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, candidate number 4. Candidate number 5, may you please come forward to tell us your closing statement. You have 1 minute to tell us your closing remarks.
All right, we just want to say that every events that we are going to make, they are not going to happen without your support, your opinion, and every single one of your help. We just want you guys to know that we don't force you guys to vote us, but we just want you guys to vote for who you think is best and who you think is the most capable of running this TUCO. And other than that, we want to thank you, all the candidates here, for participating today. We also want to thank all of the OSIS members and heads. We also want to thank Felix Lauscher for being here with us today.
Don't want to be lonely? Vote for 5. Thank you, guys.
Edrick and Crystal
Signing out.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
For listening throughout the debate. Have a great day and see you on the 30th of October for the voting of the Student Council President. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jordan. Okay.
Wow. Oh my God. It ruins the moment.